Mark Greenwood, ExpressFM. Passionately Portsmouth.
In the boat spot today on 93.7 ExpressFM, we're joined by Jonny Boys. Good morning.
Good morning, hi.
Jonny's been in the marine trade all his working life. He grew up sailing in Chichester Harbour and started working with boats whilst he was still at school, and decided quite early on that the marine world was where he wanted to be. In 1999, JBT Marine was born, a specialist rigid inflatable boat business. And JBT has gone from strength to strength and continues to be run by a very capable and loyal team. Jonny took over Thornham Marina in Emsworth. Yeah, been busy, 2004. With his four-strong team, has over the years improved the marina's functionality and appeal. It has a powerful sublift to raise and lower boats and a number of marine tenants, which is a huge benefit for customers working on their boats. He's now concentrating, and the reason he's here today is a local business, on Trafalgar Wharf and the indoor dry stack, based down on the south coast in Portsmouth. Jonny, hi, welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit more about your inspiration, boy, because you seem to have spent your entire career doing something you love in the marine industry.
Yes, where do I start with that? I left school at the age of 16. I didn't have any formal or any particularly good formal qualifications. I had aspirations to get out into the real world and start working and earning some money. My very supportive parents, one of which was a teacher, one of which was a schools inspector.
Okay. A great combination.
To my surprise, were highly supportive of me leaving formal education. They just said that if I was going to go out into the wide world and start doing my own thing, I needed to fund it myself, and that was a good basis to start from.
So just to give us a thumbnail in terms of the companies that you've worked for, because most of them have been around the south coast, I think, Jonny, haven't they?
I've only actually ever worked for one company, and that was a pizza delivery company.
Okay.
At the age of 16, and ever since then I've worked for myself. So JBT Marine, we specialise in rigid inflatable boats, new and second hand. We have a new brand of ribs called a ballistic rib, which is a very good rigid inflatable boat, both for commercial and leisure use, and very popular here in the Solent. We have Thornham Marina, which is a tidal marina and boatyard just near Emsworth, and that sort of specialises in winter storage. We've got a few tenants on site who support people who want to do repairs and such like on their boats.
Yep.
And then moving on from there, and of course I'm missing out lots of bits along the way, but in terms of key companies, I then set up Trafalgar Wharf when I put a deal together to acquire that with an investment company in 2008.
What was that before? It was it Vosper's or something before?
Yes, that was the old Vosper Thornycroft site, and for those of you out there who know the area, this is just opposite Port Solent at the top of Portsmouth Harbour. Many important vessels have been built there over the years, dating right back to the 1930s and 40s. It's been a site in marine and shipping use.
By the way, it's inspirational to hear. I like it when local businesses come on and talk about how they got there, because you didn't follow, if you like, a traditional route. You stopped the formal education, which, bearing in mind your parents, is quite a surprise, really. But that's important for people here, that people get to where they're going to get to in different ways. They don't all have to go through the same way. I mean, you obviously have the qualities and the tenacity to want to build something yourself. Was that there from an early age?
I guess that's true. Someone once said to me, there's people who do and people who don't. And if you want to do, then you will do stuff. And I think it's a question of setting your sights on what you want to do and working out how you're going to do it. And people do that in all sorts of different ways these days.
So let's go back to Trafalgar Wharf. That was the old Vosper's site there. Was that a deal you put together to buy all of that site? Or is that with your own company? How did that come about?
Well, I for many years, having worked with rigid inflatable boats and leisure boats, had been looking for a better way to help my customers and clients go boating. And you mentioned earlier our dry stack, which is this launch and recovery system on demand. So you might be sat at your home, you see it's sunny weather, you ring us up, and within an hour your boat can be on the water, fully fueled, sat on the pontoon, ready for you to use. And I'd seen in the States that there were better, more efficient ways of going boating in this way that I've just described. So I'd been looking for probably 10 years for the perfect site in this area where it would be possible to build a dry storage system and maintain and support people in their boating. And when Trafalgar Wharf became available in 2008, I think it was at a time when the property market wasn't doing too well. In fact, a lot of things
it's good timing then
weren't doing too well. And so that presented an opportunity to get involved with a waterside site, and I saw how we could move some of these dreams to fruition. It's taken a while. I mean, we're at 8 years on now.
8 years already, is it?
Yes, 8 years on now.
Tell us about some of the, as a local employer, some of the facilities you've got. If you start, say, with the dry stack, tell us a bit more about that.
Okay, so the dry stack fundamentally is a land-based marina for boats. What it does is it makes boating very, very easy for people. So we store boats in a racking system, and from there we can launch and recover your boat at 1 hour's notice. And our team will take your boat out of the storage system, fuel it for you, have it sat on the pontoon. So when you arrive with your friends and family, you simply jump onto the boat, go boating. When you come back, you throw the keys back at us, and we wash your boat off and we put it away in our storage system.
Now, I saw the... I mean, you can't miss the building if you go along the M27. And it's a huge... And I couldn't believe how high up you can stack the boats. It's phenomenal, really.
Absolutely. We have specialist forklifts that have been custom made for us in the United States, actually, and they go 60 feet up into the air, so that's 6 layers high of boats, and 22 feet down, and that's quite a range. But obviously that's because of the tide that we have here. We need a forklift that can go below ground level in order to launch these boats. Yeah. Absolutely.
And you also have other options for boaters there. Talk about you've got a wet and dry marina, and you've got some swinging moorings. How does that work, Jonny?
So the wet marina is, as it sounds, it's a floating marina, so you can keep your boat afloat with us in a marina environment. And we also have swinging moorings, so if people want a slightly more cost-effective option, then a swinging mooring out in the harbour that they row out to might be more convenient. And then we've got what we call our dry marina, which is a bit like the dry stack, except it's storing your boat on a specially designed cradle outside, again launch and recovery on demand. The difference between the dry stack and the dry marina is that you can get to your boat at any time of day, and you might enjoy sitting on your boat even though you're not going boating, and it's still possible to do that.
And the site continues to develop. I went to the Southampton Boat Show, met with Corin, who I've been stalking for a couple of years to try and get an interview with you. You've just started... which I think is a really interesting concept for people that want to start boating, because typically there's quite a big barrier to entry, isn't there, if you've got to find a mooring and find a boat and all the rest of it. You've started this boat club, Trafalgar, which has taken off, really. Can you tell us a bit more about that, Jonny?
We've realised, or we suspected, that there is a gap in the market for people who want to go boating, but... they may not want to spend the capital on purchasing a boat, but also they may not want the hassle of ownership. And there is certain hassles of ownership. You have to buy your boat, you have to have it maintained, cleaned, insurance.
And a whole day a year anti-fouling it sometimes.
And a whole day a year.
I remember that well.
That's right. And so with our boat club, it's a very simple concept. It's unlimited boating in our fleet of ribs and powerboats for a simple monthly fee. So you know how much you're spending each month, and for that monthly fee you can go boating as much as you want to. And it's proving very, very popular, both with people who are thinking about coming into boating, who perhaps aren't ready to make the step of buying their own boat.
Sure.
It's also very popular with people who know about boating, who perhaps don't want another thing to worry about. So they just want a simpler way of going boating. So again, you would ring us up, or you would we have a web app where you can book the boat. You choose which boat you want to use, you say when you want to use it, you turn up, it's fueled, it's sat on the pontoon, and it's ready for you to go out and enjoy.
That's an excellent idea. It should get more and more people afloat. Anything else that you can tell us in the pipeline, Jonny?
I think we've probably got a reasonable amount on our plate with that at the moment.
Enough to do, really.
The boat club is getting a lot of interest. It's very important to us that we train people and give them the help and support that they need in order to be able to go boating safely. And so we're taking on members cautiously at a steady rate. We don't want to go too wild. We want to make sure that everyone's comfortable with what
we're trying to keep the level of service up as well.
Absolutely.
And in terms of employment, and how many people have you got now, and what people are interested perhaps in working for you, or maybe an apprenticeship? Is that possible, Jonny?
Well, I think there's two things to mention. Yes, within our organisation, Trafalgar Wharf, the Dry Stack, JBT, the Boat Club, we are always looking for people with the right attitudes to put themselves forwards and let us know that they're looking for work, whether that's at an apprentice level or a higher level. So keen to hear from anyone who fancies working in this environment. Within the site as a whole, we have a number of businesses that are renting space from us, and they too are also forward-thinking, doing some exciting, innovative stuff, and there are also other job opportunities on site. So definitely anyone who fancies working in the marine industry by the water, come and have a look at Trafalgar Wharf, because whether it's with us or one of our tenants, there are definitely lots of opportunities out there.
I was impressed the amount of activity that was going on, and also how big the site is. You don't get a proper view of that unless you go and visit the site, I think. When you see it from the motorway, I think it shrinks a little. So are some of the others tenants of yours, like the boatyards and things? You actually own the whole site?
Yes, so we operate the whole site. We've got a shipyard there with a 1,000-ton ship lift, which takes in and out small ferries like the Isle of Wight Red Jet and small workboats. And they do refit. In fact, earlier this year they had Lord Sugar's boat there for a refit. Okay. There are other tenants on site, Magma Global, who are in the oil and gas industry, and you would have seen them on coast talking about their carbon fibre structures and masts. And so they're quite an exciting company. And another one that's definitely worth a mention, who started off with us, they're actually over the road, but they use a lot of our facilities now, is a company called ASV. And they do a lot of unmanned vessels for the MOD and survey work. Okay. Very exciting, big boys' toys.
High-tech stuff.
High-tech stuff, yeah.
Okay. Well, Trafalgar Wharf is located on the upper reaches of Portsmouth Harbour, opposite Port Solent, 5 minutes from the M27, as we said, formerly the old Vosper Thornycroft site. So if people are interested in the dry stack or the moorings or jobs, could you give us the right contact phone number and the website, Jonny?
Yes, absolutely. Our main website, through which you can find our other business activities through, is trafalgarwharf.com. And if anyone wants to email us, info@trafalgarwharf.com. And telephone number, best one probably is to call on 02392 706 384.
Jonny, thanks. We'd like to get local businesses in, and nice to see the growth and success you're having in the city. Thanks for joining us on ExpressFM.
Thank you.
The Sunday Supplement with Mark Greenwood. Passionately Portsmouth.